Yeah, here's just another crappy video of me just talking to myself and how it took me a long time, or undisclosed amount of long time, where I wasn't that smart probably, to work out how to get a casting material for toys. I had to combat shrinkage. I had to deal with how expensive the materials are. I had to deal with the fact that some things aren't soluble in water and some things are, and sometimes you wish it was soluble and then it ruins it later on when it's soluble. Because if I'm soluble, I can dissolve in water, and it's amazing to dissolve in water. But it's also a pain if your material dissolves in water at the end. And I first learned about rocks, but they keep something a fucking secret from you. And I didn't work out esters till fucking way later. But then you combine the two together, and then you get a really good casting material. And then it took me freaking ages to do, but with esters, and then I had to work out that there's something tricky about esterification, but if you want a reaction without a precipitation, something funny has to go on. Because you only get a salt reaction if one of them precipitates. So one of them's moving out of the water. Unless you can move something out of the water, you can't actually get two esters to react. Even though that's another thing. But yeah, there's something tricky about liquids. And like all of that ester stuff, you know, they didn't help you one little bit to get it. You know, they keep esters more of a secret than rocks. So you gotta understand that reaction, you know, that acid rock salt reaction, metal and acid reaction. Understand that metal and acid reaction properly. And that's what gets it for you. So I understand the metal acid reaction and more about it now. And then I'm still stuck with the factors without knowing the solubilities, the melting points, the boiling points, the dissolvabilities. It's hard to know what mineral to use. You know, shellac dissolves in alcohol, but it's hard to know unless someone bloody lets you in on the fact. Yeah. So after knowing about all of that, it took me a long time to collect that information, and it's just the basics. But I think I've got a casting material now, some strength that's okay, but it might be crushed underfoot. But it's probably strong against the hands, but probably not against the foot. So I just have to keep on going. But so the thing is, you know, with the computing, I dove straight into it, like right into the deep end. But with this matter business, the chemistry, I think being shallow and first is probably good. No, I'm less trying to be some kind of arrogant show off. His whole existence is a joke to me now. Maybe get the basic material done, the rock ester glue, the basics, and then it may lead to somewhere harder later on, and you don't have to dive in so quickly wanting the hardest thing straight away. So if you get to 1000 degrees, you can melt metal, right? But what I'm doing here, the worst thing I touch is the oxalic acid, and the rest is like nowhere near as bad as that. A lot of it is just off the shelf, sort of like stuff you get from the supermarket. So this basic plastic is looking a lot safer, as long as you don't make the mistake and just go for the deadly solvents. Yeah. So unless you got a good reason to get a deadly solvent, you don't really need them. So oxalic acid is worse than acetic acid. So, you know, that's why I watch out for that one. But that's like the worst one I use. And I got some methanol and acetone, but I barely use them. So until you know what you need to use a solvent for, I probably wouldn't buy another one. Unless you know what to do with it, I wouldn't get it. Because there's no undo button in real life. But yeah, so I'm just proud of myself for like making it past grade 1. And then people look down upon it, they say it's like 3rd grade chemistry or some crap like that. But you know, unless you were lucky enough to get that in the 3rd grade, you can't take it for granted as much.